Welcome back to Optimize Health, where we're making easy, healthy, and delicious meals. Today, I'm excited to share with you a recipe that's pretty simple to do your own homemade, handmade broccoli ravioli. These are going to be a broccoli flour based and a cheese filled. Feel free to kind of tweak the recipe to add in any flavors or spices that you would prefer. You should talk to your doctor, healthcare provider, or veterinarian to see if any of these recipes, suggestions, or contents of these videos are right for you. Nothing contained in these videos are intended to be taken as medical advice. Use at your own risk. But I'm going to start with some proprietary blend, about a third cup. And then I'm going to show you this broccoli slaw from Trader Joe's. I'm going to actually blend it up using about a little more than a third of a cup here because it's going to blend down. So I'm going to add that. I think it's going to take just a little bit more. Eyeball a lot of stuff around here. Makes it quicker. So we'll pop this on the blender. And that blade goes in there. So super easy with a little food processor to make this finely chopped broccoli slaw. This one's got broccoli and a little bit, just a tiny bit of carrot in it. It does add a little bit sweet, and so it's coming out to be about, let's see if it's gonna make it to about a third cup. Almost. So I think that's pretty good. We're trying to get a 1-to-1 ratio of our flour blend to our broccoli. And I'm gonna adjust the rest of that there. So I'm gonna add some spices to the flour blend, doing a little bit of black pepper, some sea salt, just a dash of salt. I wanted to put some basil, and I'll also add a bit to the cheese filling, a little bit of garlic powder. And this is a really nice seasoning blend from Trader Joe's. 21 season salute. What's gonna really bring out the flavor is this parmesan. I'm gonna do like a teaspoon of this. Kind of mix in our dry ingredients here really quick. I'm gonna put the broccoli puree in here. And one thing I didn't pull out was mozzarella cheese. Shredded mozzarella. Then I want to do a generous third to maybe a half cup, depending on how you like it. I'm gonna try to blend it a little bit, and we're gonna quickly microwave, and you'll see how this comes out. seconds, maybe 45 seconds. This is going to be really similar to the cauliflower, riced cauliflower that I use in a lot of my baking, like savory recipes, and even some of my sweet recipes. So with the melted cheese, it's going to, as it cools down, help to form like a doughy consistency. I'm going to see, I might not need the egg. Since this is a smaller batch, we might want to omit it. We're just going to have to see how it comes out. About 45 seconds. It's looking like it's starting to melt there. Okay, so now it's kind of coming together. Doughy. I think we have a dough. I don't think the egg is necessary. It's going to make this a lot more wet. So I think I'm going to go without the egg at this point. What I'm going to do is just let this kind of cool, separating it into little clumps of dough that we can fill batter with, or filling with rather, and see how many we can maybe get 5 out of this. Let that kind of cool down on its own here. In the meantime, I'm going to mix, I'm just going to use this container because it's almost empty. It's just a whole milk cottage cheese. I've got about 1/3 cup in here. I want to add some garlic powder. We're not going to add any salt because it's already pretty salty. We have basil. About a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to add this paprika that's just got a little bit of a kick to it. Just a dash of that. A little more black pepper. And a little more of this parmesan. Help kick up the flavor. And then broccoli and cheddar always go good together, so I thought it would be good to blend in a little bit, maybe a tablespoon of cheddar in there. And I'm gonna use this fork, just mixing it up. Alrighty. So we should have plenty for our filling. These have cooled down enough to handle. It's good that they're still kind of warm enough to be really easy to stretch, and they're, you know, kind of flexible. And so I'm gonna just flatten out. And kind of form these. They don't have to be perfect edges. I'm more concerned with taste, but feel free to make them as perfect looking as you want. You can make them round or square, something in between. And I'm going to show you how to make a couple. It's actually not that time consuming of a recipe, surprisingly. It's like when you think of, oh, homemade ravioli, it's gonna take forever. Depends on what, you know, how big they are and how many you're making, but it can be pretty simple. So you can just push down, flatten the edges here. Oops, that egg didn't break. Like this. Try to seal it together a bit. very rudimentary, low tech. The highest tech thing I've got is this little food processor, which is really probably the best investment in the kitchen that I have. This one's going to be a little smaller because I don't have as much surface area, so I'm just going to try not to be too greedy with it. I think that'll fit comfortably in there. Put this one on top. And they don't want to cooperate. Okay, so the next step is to get these into, I'm going to use a pan, and I've preheated this pan to medium low. Just going to gently get these off of the cutting board here. Transfer them over, and I'm going to do just a stovetop bake. You can let these bake first, and then you can create the rest of your dish, whether you're going to do a sauce or add a meat that maybe you'll cook a meat or veggies separately, then adding that in, and then adding the sauce to kind of heat everything into a single pan, and then you can serve it that way. So that is the gist of it. I'm going to continue making a few more until we are done with this batch. There's some other tricks where you can use rolling pins, you can use a glass, a jar, anything to like flatten out your dough a little bit. As they're cooling, they're getting a little less stretchy, so I'm trying to work a little quick and put this in here. Let's seal the edges. Okay. I think I can do one more. Flatten out. Okay. And we're done with that. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so we're gonna let those cook probably for about 10 to 15 minutes, and we will be back with the final product. Alrighty, we are ready to take these off the stove. This ended up cooking about 20 minutes. So the prep time was really easy, but the cook time for me did take a little bit longer than I expected, but they came out really nicely. And we're hoping you guys will try it out. Let us know what you think. send in some suggestions for other recipes we can make into like low carb and healthier versions. Excited to hear from you. Thanks.